Now that we've done cones, let's go on to pyramids. And some of the terminology is going to be exactly the same. For example, slant height. Yes, you've seen that before. And it is, in fact, from the top here all the way down to the side, right down to this corner. You'll also notice that height is the same. Yes, it's from the top here all the way down to the center, right down here. But there's a few things that change. For example, when you're talking about a pyramid, you don't talk about it being the top of the pyramid or anything else. You call it the apex, not the vertex, but now the apex. Why? I don't know. They just love doing that to you. And one more thing is we don't have radiuses anymore, because we're dealing with a base that is now square or rectangular. So in this case, we have to wonder about this length here. Well, in fact, if you look, that exact length from here to here is from the center to the edge, from the center to the edge, which is half the distance of this length. That becomes really, really important, because if you're not given the slant height, again, you can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared to determine that slant height. So that's going to be very, very advantageous for us to know that. So let's go on to our first question. It says, to find the surface area of a pyramid, we must find the area of all the sides and add them together. Again, we're going to form this thing into a wonderful little net. And I just happen to have the same guy who made the last video on YouTube right here, and he shows you how to make a net from a square pyramid. Check this out. It's really kind of neat. He's got some great graphics here. He doesn't have his voice in there or anything. It's just a wonderful little graphic, and you can see how he's made a net out of this perfectly beautiful little pyramid. So with that in mind, then let's go back to this, and we know that we're going to have to cut along all of these edges here, here, and the front and the back and the sides and all that other stuff. And we're going to make basically this ninja star. Woohoo! But we have to remember, being that this is square, every one of these sides here is 8 centimeters, which makes it really, really easy. And this one's giving you the slant height already to be 10. Okay, so we've been given just about everything. Now, a couple things you have to remember here. We're going to have to find all of the areas. So what does that mean? We're going to find the area of every single one of these triangles. Well, the nice thing is when you're dealing with a perfectly square pyramid, all these triangles are the same. So all you have to do is find one and multiply it by 4. So 4 times the area of the triangles, okay, is going to help us out. And then add the base to that as well. Unless the question says find only the lateral areas. If it says lateral areas, you don't have to include this part. But if it says of the entire pyramid, yes, you have to include the base. Well, the base is the easiest because that's, of course, a square. And you know that a square is length times width. And in this case, length times width. The lengths and the widths are the same. So this is going to be 8 times 8, and that's going to give us a beautiful number of 64. Woohoo, 1 year before retirement, yay. Okay, now, moving over here, let's look at the triangles. It's 4 times whatever the area of the triangles are. Now, I know some people will teach this one way, but I'm going to insist on you doing it this way. Put the area of the triangle formula here, half base times height. And I know, depending on your teacher, you've learned it differently. Some people say, okay, 0.5 times base times height. Some people say base times height divided by 2. Well, you know, honestly, whatever way you've learned this, it goes right here, and they're all exactly the same. Now, some people will say, okay, take that 4, multiply it by a half, and you'll get 2. I don't want you to go there. One of the reasons why is because what if you're dealing with a pyramid that doesn't have 4 sides? Let's say it's a pyramid that has 6 sides. This formula never changes. This could change to 6 sides. What if it's 8 sides? Then that changes to 8. What if this is 15 sides? Then this, of course, is going to change to 15 and so on. But we're dealing with a square pyramid. That is actually 4, and let's just leave it like that. So leave this area of the triangle. Don't manipulate this formula. Leave it like you've always learned it, okay? So base, in this case, is 8. The height here we found over here to be 10, okay? So 8 times 10 is 80 divided by 2 works out to be 40. So this is 4 times the area of one of those triangles. And since you've got 4 of them, 4 times 40 is 160. Plus the 64 that are there works out to be 224. And again, what are the units? Well, it's centimeters, but being that you're dealing with area, it's centimeters squared. And that's how you do a question just like that.